What's up, you guys? Steven here for Off the Shelf Movie Night to talk to you about physical media, Blu-rays and 4Ks and DVDs, all the great ways to collect movies and TVs, things that we love. You guys are probably going to notice this. My cat just tore the crap out of my hand, but, you know, I was roughhousing with him, so I guess I kind of deserve it. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you like what you see, hit that like button. And share this thing out with people. And let's talk about physical media. Let's talk about movies and TV. So today I'm talking about 4th of July films. Oof, my stomach, I'm hungry. What are you guys watching for the 4th of July? I've seen a lot of lists where people focus very specifically on the date. Specifically the date or anything that's holiday themed. So for me, it's not really about holiday themed. I mean, okay, I have one film on my list that is holiday themed, but it's more about the feeling, you know, an all-American experience. Is it an all-American story, all-American film? That's what matters to me. Is it summer? Is it of the time of year? I want to feel that stuff. That's what I want to feel in my films today. Some of the films I would love to be uplifting because Lord knows we need uplifting right now, right? Starting off with the only obvious one I think in my list, and that is Jaws. Now, Jaws does take place on the 4th of July. It is probably the most obvious choice that I have here, but I didn't pick it because it takes place on the 4th of July, though. I picked it because it feels very summer. It feels extremely American. It is an American film, obviously, but it is to the degree of being the first summer blockbuster ever made. This movie changed the course of cinema as we know it in the late 70s. So it is iconic in that. The soundtrack is iconic. Steven Spielberg directed, John Williams score. So it feels like a necessary film to watch on the 4th of July. I feel like I don't need to go over what the story is about because I feel like even if you haven't seen the film, you know. Basically, weekend celebration at a beach. A killer shark comes in, starts killing people. It's very interesting right now. I don't want to get political, but if you replace the shark with the coronavirus, it really fits because the government in the area did not want to shut down because it's big. It would have been a big hit to the economy, so they didn't, and a lot of people got killed by this shark because they didn't shut the beaches down. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Very good film. Must watch on the holiday. A movie about those two countries, America and Russia, it feels very, American to me because it is part of my childhood. This movie is not historic, not in any way. It has nothing to do with history. But it does feel like it sort of makes a commentary on that relationship as well as showing what two men can do to impact history in their individual ways. And that is one American character and one Russian character, played by Alec Baldwin and Sean Connery, Hunt for Red October. I think this is sort of the epitome of American film. This is the height of John McTiernan's career, the director of this film. He had given us Predator, he had given us Die Hard, and then he gave us this, three of the greatest American films, summer blockbuster type American films ever made. John McTiernan kind of fell off in his career after that. He did some other big things. He did Last Action Hero, which I own, not a great film, but it has its moments, but I enjoy it, okay? I do like it. It's not good, but I do like it. I enjoy the soundtrack, a lot of things about it. But anyway, back to this. I believe this is a Tom Clancy story, Tom Clancy novel, and my understanding is it's very different than the book, but for a 4th of July film, it's very American film. It's suspenseful, it's action-packed, and to me, it's uplifting. It has an uplifting story to tell. So what's more uplifting? This movie also is uplifting, but what's more American than baseball? So I have Field of Dreams here. I don't even like the sports. I don't care about this, anything about sports, baseball in particular. So if I actually like this film, it says a lot. I don't know why I'm all in the steel books, you guys. I'm not sure, but it doesn't get much more American than this. You have Kevin Costner playing a man who is willed to build a baseball diamond in his cornfield. So you have sort of this Midwestern motif happening with cornfield, and it's baseball, and it's, high drama. this is an all-American film. Very uplifting story, very well acted, beautiful, classic story. This story also gave us an iconic quote. In the quote, if you build it, they will come. It has been riffed, made fun of, used in commercials, everything since this film. So this is lots of fingerprints on this steelbook. Can you see that? Anyway, very great film to watch on the 4th of July. All right, so let's see those. Another film that gave us an iconic line is Apollo 13. The space race of the 1960s sort of changed the course of this country. Is a very important part of our history, this flight and others. So Ron Howard's film, this is the 25th anniversary, starring Tom Hanks and Gary Sinise and Kevin Bacon. It's a killer cast. It plays off the sort of American innovation that was happening then in science, and sort of the sort of overcoming adversity, and making something bigger and better and greater. It all feels American, this story, and it's so well done by director Ron Howard here. It's uplifting, it's action-packed, it's suspenseful. Again, all of the things that I look for in an American movie, like traditional American movie, are right here in Apollo 13. And it dramatizes a moment in history that is very important to America. So, America, watch it. It's a good one. All right, now we're going to get on to some edgier stuff, because that's me. I love edgy stuff. Only to a minor degree this time, though. I'm going with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This is a Quentin Tarantino film. Why I like this as an American, as a 4th of July film, is it lovingly recreates a late 60s California in a way we haven't seen in a long time. Shot on film, and you could see it in this 4K presentation that it was shot on film. A lot of the signage from the 60s was rebuilt. Even magazines for newsstands were recreated to truly envelop us as the viewer into the 1960s era California. So it does, part of the story does encompass the Charles Manson story, which was sort of the end of innocence for this country in a lot of ways, and the innocence of the look of the film through parts of it, with the way California looks, and got Margot Robbie, this hippie vibe happening that she's got going on with the no shoes, and all the hippies that are kind of in here from that era. The innocence is sort of ripped away by the Charles Manson events related to Charles Manson. The main story that goes along with that involves Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. Leonardo DiCaprio plays a once successful from the 1950s TV and film star whose star has fallen. Brad Pitt plays his stunt double, and it's about their relationship, trying to find their way in a new era. So, very American feeling. This is not a perfect movie from Tarantino, by the way. It's probably 15 minutes too long in the middle. There's about 15-minute, kind of drudge that you've got to get through. But the first chapter and the last chapter make it worth watching. And it just feels like Americana. Love this film. Love it. So I want to talk, before I go to my last film, about something, that's kind of a hot take here, and my 90s kid friends are going to be very upset with me about this, but let's talk about Independence Day. This is not on my recommended list. I will not be watching this today because, I just look at this film and I can see it, and I don't know if you can, but this is a bad film. Independence Day is not good. Will Smith is charismatic, and he kind of steals every scene he's in, and that's great. This was sort of the launching of his career. And I will admit, seeing this in the theater for the first time, the high energy of it and the special effects, which don't hold up today, but did look cool then, made it a fun theatrical experience. But watching this at home, it just doesn't hold up. And believe me, I like some bad movies. My last pick is not a good movie. But to me, it's... I don't like it. I don't like it. I feel like Bill Pullman's character as the president is He's overacted and overwritten, and the 4th of July theming is too heavy. It's like a boot heel being dug into the back of your neck by some really bad dialogue and a bad speech that a lot of people actually like, but it is a bad speech. If you've watched my videos for long, then you know I don't believe in having something on your shelf that you don't like. I think that's bad collecting. I think that's unhealthy collecting. But this is on my shelf because my girlfriend likes it. This is hers. I got it for her because it's a nice addition. And if she comes back here and wants to watch, some movies with me for the 4th and wants to watch that one, I have it in the stack. But if she's not in, then I'm not watching it. But I will watch something terrible, a really bad movie, and that is The Purge. So The Purge is set in an alternate version of America where one day a year the law enforcement takes a 12-hour break and you can go out and purge out all of your anger and your hate and your fear and, do whatever crime it is that you want to do for that 12 hours. So what I love about this film, 2 things. One, Lena Headey. I just have a soft spot for Lena Headey, and that's why this is the only Purge film I actually own, because she's in it. The other thing is it does have this 70s kind of feel, 60s, 70s feel, in that it is a crap movie, but it's trying to have a socio-political statement, and this one does. They all do, but this one is less ham-fisted. It was a very fun tradition for years for me, though. Whatever I was doing that night on the 4th, during the day, I would go see the new Purge. Last year, there wasn't a new Purge. Last year, I believe the last Purge film was the year before last, but I was able to see this in 4K at the theater, and that was an amazing day as well. So those are my lists. What are you watching today? I'm going to try and get this video up fast, so it'll be up for the 4th. If you need some suggestions, I'm hoping that this will be ready for you. But share with me in the comments what you're watching, because I probably missed some really cool stuff. I would love to talk to you about it. Hit me up on otsmovienight over on Instagram. And until we meet again, pull something cool off the shelf, share it with your friends and family, and remind them why the best way to watch films and TV is on physical media. I'll see you soon.